Alrighty, it is currently 8:19 a.m. and this is capturing the specific environment. The light source moves as I move toward my office, and this is again when you're remembering the entity stalking all day long, and this is the pattern of conduct occurring within the context of the workplace. And so that is all of that criminal activity occurring while you're on the job. Okay, that's sexual violence, that ongoing harassment by an entity, criminal monitoring by an entity. You have a Title 18 criminal activity by an entity in the workplace, terrorism by an entity, and remaining from here, 8:19 a.m. and it's setting right here at 5 p.m. just like I captured yesterday. This is that in and of itself, the video that I captured when I got off of work, the video that I captured inside of my window, the video that I captured in my living room window. The target individual does not have to engage in years and years of documentation. I am establishing precedent, the unmistakable fact that the government is monitoring American citizens, and it's happening in the United States. And it is also that which is entirely demented. It's demonic at its core, and that demonic behavioral pattern, that demonic criminal act committed by a government is going to be prosecuted. It's going to be exposed for what is terrorism that's occurring in the United States. It is terrorism on its face while a government is placing you under surveillance in violation of your constitutional and human rights in concert with the people who are supposed to be free, like the target individual. You're not free to stalk on behalf of the government. That's why everybody at this apartment complex, Alvarado Gardens, they're all going to federal prison. The documentation that I captured in one day showing the specific environment, that the engineered light, the ongoing admission, in other words, that the entity is consistently providing, is the ongoing body of evidence in addition to what I already have. They're engaging, they being in LA, this is the same exact entity. That's why it is in conformity to a well-documented pattern of conduct. And this body of evidence is going to be used and submitted in federal court, and it's going to be an ongoing admission. It's impossible to have a coincidence of this to this degree, of this nature, when I am in an entirely different location and amongst supposedly quote-unquote different people. It's the same entity, and it's the same pattern of conduct, and it's the same specific environment. Each aspect of that is entirely phenomenal, okay? It's the phenomenon that's occurring again, and the phenomenon occurring once is literally that. The fact that it's happening again, that's the pattern. That's a pattern by government. And this body of evidence is going to be submitted against the people of the state who are going to be sliced down by name, and everybody that lives in this community is going to federal prison. All right, and this is impunity. He's going to federal prison. He was the one, the group stalking with LAPD, 8RUL 397, directed light is on the ground. All right, he's monitoring in real time. He's also going to be prosecuted and going to a mental institution while engineered light is touching me. 8RUL 397 is a group stalker that was pacing back and forth while LAPD was flying over by helicopter. And understand that this is a demon. This is a psychopath that is listening to the evidence that's going to be used against the people and him, and they continue to engage in that P.O.C. This is the engineered light that you're looking at on inside of my bedroom while you're looking at what is a demon that has no legitimacy whatsoever. This is the delusion of the demon possessed. They want to outwardly appear. They don't even have the appearance of legitimacy. You're going to remember the multiple shadows appearing in my apartment, the engineered light appearing above my door, the engineered light on my ceiling at nightfall, the entity stalking on an ongoing basis through the LAPD, who are a bunch of demons stalking in a helicopter. And then you're going to look at the directed light that you just saw coexisting with him moving a vehicle in the shade, by the way, under what is a light source that's remaining over me in Ontario, California. Pick a venue, any venue, because it's not going to be over here. He's going to federal prison, and that's mental examinations. That's Dupree using his vehicle as light activity, 8SXD 758. Impossible light moves across the Camry while he opens his door. A demon stalking in the path with light. This is P.O.C. Again, this one right here, this is impunity. This is an enhanced term in federal prison. He doesn't live at the community. He's coming systematically and aware of the documentation and facilitating the criminal system. And while I am that's not a coincidence. This sex offender, while I had my panties down, was aiming engineered light above my bedroom door in the dark. Okay? This is a sex offender and a psychopath, and he's going to federal prison. He's going to be subject to mental examinations, and he's going for a prolonged term. This is the grounds of enhancement. This is a psychopath who wants to appear as though they're engaged in something else, and they're stalking me. That's what the demons do. That's pacing on Alvarado Street. They're monitoring together in the specific environment. This is P.O.C. That ongoing terrorism is occurring in the workplace. This is sexual violence that's occurring in the workplace that Todd Speaker is going to be criminally prosecuted for. His company and his property is a ground for a government that's engaging in this criminal system. Demons coming and gathering to engage in the state's pattern of conduct with the state, who was stalking day and night, just like you saw at 12:10 a.m. and at 1 o'clock in the morning in the specific environment. This is P.O.C. And this is a threat to your life that you're subject to in the workplace. Okay? This is P.O.C. right here. Just loitering in relevant position, a demon stalking in the path with light. All right, knows exactly what I'm saying, and also knew when my panties were down, when impossible light was in my bedroom. Okay, monitoring this morning while the entity was stalking in helicopter. That's Dupree, 1806. He's also going to federal prison, P.O.C. It is currently 8 And this is all surrounding in the body of evidence. It's 8:24 a.m. The light source is remaining at Alvarado Gardens for the duration of the day. Everybody at this property is going to federal prison. All of the minor children that live here are going to be seized. Okay, they are not remaining with those that are going to federal prison. They won't even be in a position to keep them, but they are losing custody. That is Child Protective Services are understanding the federal grounds upon which you are taking the children from the people of the state who engage in terrorism and sexual violence on behalf of the state of California, where the government is into monitoring and doing so through and via children. They're losing custody of those children, and they're going, this is a body of evidence showing, that was just evidence right there of the impermissible threat. Everybody that lives at Alvarado Gardens, this is documentation of the entity. That third party acts on behalf of the entity. They're all going to be subject to the use of this evidence against them, the impunity which this demon possessed third party group stalking entity at the facilitating venue of Alvarado Gardens, where there is no sun, over the Ontario Town Square, over in its zenith at the same time, rising at the Ontario Town Square and remaining and setting at the Ontario Town Square while it is remaining here over Alvarado Gardens, and while you have a third party that's moving a vehicle and engineered light is moving on the ground. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is one demon after another. They like to engage in criminal summoning. Affiliated with the Chews, 1800 Chew, 9DKF194. Hi. Hello. There's no parking here.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
You're waiting to pick someone up? Okay. If they're not natural born citizens, they're going to be deported. They routinely arrive to engage in terrorism. This is my shadow that's appearing on the back of the car. This is a demon that was engaged in surveillance in the parking lot and is now crossing path. That's Vanessa Drees. She's going to federal prison, her and her daughter. This is Impossible Light while you see 9JGM837. This is my shadow behind me. This is my shadow in front of me. They're arriving, picking up a group stalker, all right? And none of them are American citizens. If they're not, they're going to be deported after they serve time in federal prison. This is the light source in front of me. This is activity creation. Hello. That's P.O.C. Lisa Ann Roger Chu of 1808 number 6. And this is, again, the outer guise under which the ongoing elements of monitoring remain. Sex offenders coming onto the ground to participate in the pattern of conduct in the specific environment, and they're violent sex offenders who, again, know when my panties are down. The specific environment is the evidence of it. This is Impossible Light activity. This is P.O.C. Again, those that aren't even natural born citizens, they're not welcome here. You're not welcome in this country to engage in monitoring, terrorizing an American citizen, and you were granted the privilege to be here. And while you do so, you're going to violate the constitutional rights and human rights of another. They're going to be deported. That's P.O.C. That's not friendly behavior. That's engineered light. So that's what you look at, a demon waving high while engineered light swipes across your person. That's P.O.C.